Hi everyone, I wanted to come on today and speak a bit about the fires currently affecting Southern California. I felt that I needed to come on and talk a little bit about this because this is something that is really beginning to affect the collective. It's something that is in a lot of people's hearts and minds right now. So I wanted to give a chance for everyone to maybe come together and give some thoughts, some prayers to everyone being affected by Southern California, and to just really think about what's going on in that area, what it might be like also to be having to go through something like that. First off, to those of you being impacted by these fires, as a lot of my viewership is actually from Southern California, I want you to know that I've been thinking about you. I want you to know that I have been praying for your safety, praying for quick responses, and hopefully for some rain, honestly, and improved emergency management and more resources being sent to the area. Once the fire starts, though, it's so difficult to rein it in. You know, that's actually been one of the main messages that I've talked about on my channel, right, in the 2024 year cycle, was about, be careful about striking a match, or small fires can really get out of control. And once things are out of control, all of the money in the world, it can be difficult to change that, okay, and it sometimes has to run its course. But yes, I am also going to add a fundraiser to this video, which is should be to the right of the video, depending on the browser that you're using or the app. But yes, I'm going to donate to that as well, as anything and everything does help. But yes, I want to just kind of have some stream of consciousness in this video, and really just create a space for us all to check back in with this experience, and to check in with, what it means to us, whether we're very much personally affected by it or whether we're seeing it from afar. This experience of these fires has already caused quite a bit of change in the collective psychology, as actually that area of Southern California, the ley line of the area, the magnetism of the area, is very much an area where collective psychology generates, especially in the United States. So yes, there is a lot of perception energy in that area, and to me, these wildfires there are a symbol of a previous perception grid being done away with, or being restructured or reined in some way, changed. Okay, there's also been so many political changes in the country in these recent times, and it's interesting to consider the demographic impact of these fires. Also considering that, yes, again, Southern California has a very strong impact on political psychology, as well as, and this is not just a governmental question, this is actually the energy of that area. It's a very, very potent area within actually the entire North American continent at a resource level, as well as at a area karma level. So regardless of what people's political positions are, the people who live in that area of Southern California are very deeply connected to the sort of nervous system of the entire North American continent. So yes, seeing a wildfire break out there, or an arson break out there, is something that actually is very damaging to the entire North American continent. And it obviously would be if it happened anywhere. But yes, it is particularly so, as this is also one of the reasons why this is so strong in the media right now, is because this area is, again, very tied to the collective psychology and the collective perception of the worldview within the North American continental experience. So yes, it is going to be more of a frontline experience than, for example, Helene, okay, which is still also having a lot of damage, okay, on the eastern coast, actually in a similar way. Yes, this has definitely been a time of natural disaster, and yes, I do want to direct you guys also to two videos where I have talked about wildfires. I have my video from August of 2023 called Wildfires We Must See. It's actually one of my favorite videos that I've ever done on my YouTube channel, and I felt that it was one of the most important things that I was able to talk about in my time on YouTube. So definitely go check that out, as it is not so much about this channel, but about really being able to focus onto an issue that a lot of people keep very separate from themselves. But also in the Mars retrograde video from the previous live premiere season, about a month and a half ago, I predicted wildfires. So with the Mars retrograde in Cancer, and that was very clear to me. And I was actually surprised because if you guys remember, I was talking about again how in the Wood Dragon 2024 year cycle, the fire element is really dangerous. Okay, and again, small things can just blaze out of control. There's not a lot of self-control also either in the collective. And small anger, small yet powerful feelings can end up being very destructive. And I feel that always any type of natural disaster, especially ones that really break into the collective mind, okay, as this one has, as also Hurricane Helene did and the wildfires in 2023 did as well. But this one I think is more so than those others. Anytime that happens, it really changes and marks a chapter shift in collective storytelling and collective worldview. So I want to tell you guys about that a little bit in this video. Then I'm going to talk, also about the symbolism of it, and then just really facilitate thoughts and prayers for everyone currently being displaced by this disaster. Yes, if you want to comment below, I'm thinking of you, or I'm thinking of everyone in Southern California. I think that will be helpful for morale. Also, if you're currently being displaced and you would like to share your story below, or if you have family members who have gone through it and you would like to share below, I invite you to do that because I think it's important for people to know what's going on outside of their own bubble. Okay, so that is really the main purpose of this video, as well as to provide a fundraiser, and also for anybody on the ground there who might know of better organizations, charities, feel free to link those in the comments below. I invite you to share any ideas or thoughts in those territories as well. So yes, the collective change in worldview, to me, it is repositioning the collective psychology to experience not only the new political context that we're about to move into, but the coping mechanisms that it's going to require to have such a bipolar shift are being essentially processed through these fires. So that is what's so difficult is I just feel that in this area in Southern California, there was a calm. There was a very actually healthy way of integrating oneself into a human experience. But it was kind of controversial for other people to witness it from afar. So this is also going to be the energy of the fires themselves is people are going to start making controversy about it. Okay, people are going to start making controversies about the political reactions to it. People are going to start making controversies and judgments about the lifestyles of the people who lived there. And this is going to be very difficult for everybody to process. Okay, this is going to also be very damaging, I think, to the new polarized shift that has happened politically. And I think that they have to be very careful with the way that they work with this experience, or the way that they navigate this experience, because it could be kind of like a cutting off at the knees in the very beginning to be in any way haughty or arrogant towards this. Though yes, there are also versions where this happened in the opposite direction through Hurricane Helene, okay, and through other forms of natural disasters as well. So this is a point in time where it's a very important to be tested as to the important neutrality of political disposition moving past the 2024 paradigm. And will we see that? I think it's kind of doubtful, but I think at an individual level, there's an opportunity for us all to really transcend partisanship and to support each other. I think that there's a wonderful chance here for people to begin seeing these natural disasters, or seeing these human experiences, okay, not political experiences, human experiences, as something that everybody goes through regardless of affiliations. And I feel that it's also one of the reasons why this area ended up being the area that this happened in, is because this area is also a one of quite a few areas in the country that are a symbol of partisanship. So that also to me speaks of a certain like partisan or very polarizing energy not being able to go forward in the same way from here. Okay, as Helene also hit a very partisan area. So it's kind of, to me, really highlighting the bipolarity of psychology in this era. And I also feel that there is a symbolism with these fires at a higher level with the paradigm shift that we're going through from Pluto and Aquarius, from Pluto and Capricorn to Pluto and Aquarius. As, yes, this is our like final week before the sun goes into Aquarius, right? And even though Pluto has already been in Aquarius since November, it's going to take until the sun goes into Aquarius for it to really connect. As I've said, February of 2025 will be really when we feel Pluto in Aquarius and know it. So I feel that this is kind of one of those kind of like last vestige kind of symbols where it's like, okay, we know that the end or finality came to a certain cycle, and now we're crossing into the next current or crossing into the next phasing. So there's definitely a phase shifting happening to you all, and this means something to the entire globe, regardless of whether you live in California, United States, or wherever. Because again, this area of Southern California, you know, as I've just said, it deals a lot with the perception of the entire North American continent at a geomagnetic and physical level, but to a degree, the entire world as well. Because yes, a lot of the media is actually headquartered in this area as well, or are somewhat tied to this area, like YouTube, okay, for example, Patreon, everything that my efforts online revolve around come from that area. A lot of my viewership is in that area. So it means a lot, you know, if you're someone who is active on YouTube, or if you're someone who uses social media a lot, or if you're someone who is very engaged in sort of modern political thought or modern lifestyles, okay, Southern California is kind of like one of the epicenters of what has generated that at a quantum level. Okay, there may not be a Hadron Collider in Southern California, but there's one of sorts in a poetic way with all of the media means of production. So I just think it means a lot to the entire world, a world that really revolves so much around media and, you know, I even want to call it Southern California's ideological grids on modern political thought. Okay. To be seeing this wildfire there, well, it really says something, doesn't it? It really speaks to perhaps a lot of what was generated there being under attack, honestly. I feel that another thing that these wildfires are hinging on is materialism and the psychology of the home. Okay, it's interesting. A lot of the homes that have been destroyed by this have been very wealthy areas. Okay, and of course, areas of all economic statuses have been affected. But yes, in the news, we're talking about all the celebrities' homes, aren't we? We're talking about the mansions. We're talking about the affluent areas, which speaks a narrative in and of itself. But it's interesting to me that that's what people are really associating it with, and that that has actually happened. Again, it's speaking to root grids and systems of material security that may have been established over like the last few decades, now being reduced to nothing. Okay, so I think there was a hyper-materialism, right, that came out of like 2023, and we already went into 2024 with it being like severely questioned. And it's interesting to me that we're now leaving the 2024 year cycle with this like very much projected into the collective consciousness about these like beautiful affluent homes that maybe, you know, cost millions and millions of dollars, and, you know, what people have had to do to get these and what it's taken to attain these lifestyles or to maintain them, all kind of meaningless in the face of the flame. You know what I mean? That might sound dramatic, but I think it's a prescient moral to understand, as I've talked about the light like a feather lightning energy coming into 2025, where a lot of people, and yes, I predicted this in the 2025 year ahead forecast, a lot of people won't be held down by certain material grids anymore. And some people might find that very scary. Some people might find that very insecure, and it would be for many people depending on their contexts. But there's a part of the human spirit that is nomadic, and part of the human spirit that actually can be relieved, okay, of certain deep, dense material constructs in this way. So people being impacted by these fires, it's not to say that in any way this is a positive thing. That is certainly not what I'm asserting in this video. But I do feel that there's going to be recompensation. I do feel that there's going to be something that comes from it that ends up helping people to create lives that were even better in a way. And of course, this is going to take time. But, if you are going through it and you're displaced or you're feeling very discouraged or you feel a sense of loss, I want you to be confident that that recompensation will come. I am also seeing a possibility of like federal government reimbursement bills if insurance companies don't come through this. It's a possibility. I'm not going to say that's going to happen for sure, because I think it's going to take a bit of time to parse out what has actually happened and what like insurance companies will do. But gosh, surely if I were in a place like that, I would sure be coming straight to the floor with some reimbursement bills for people not only affected by the wildfires, but also for Helene hurricane victims. Really, I think that it would be nice in this new era that we're going into to see displaced people receiving more assistance, wouldn't it? But there is a very powerful strength that I feel that the people being displaced by these fires or by the hurricanes as well, there's a type of strength that they're growing, and there's a type of ability that they're getting through this adversity that's going to make them so strong. But yeah, it's so hard to go through it. And, it's also even difficult to, sit here on YouTube and talk about the symbolism of it when you know that people are suffering. But I also feel that extracting some type of meaning from this situation is a part of generating the motivation to overcome it. So yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the meaning of going through this. I mean, yeah, there's a chance to build from the ground up. There's a chance to regenerate our psychological perception of worldview. Okay, I feel that that is a collective and global symbol of these wildfires, is that collective psychology is about to or has had quite a pruning and will now have to grow back. But the thing is it's going to be very fragile as it begins to grow back. When something is growing anew or has been pruned or has had some type of destructive element, it's not going to be able to handle a lot of belligerent infighting and a lot of belligerent treatment. So I just feel like there's a softness and a lightness needed in touch at a level of leadership, at a level of human contact as well, leadership aside. There's a softness in human touch that I feel that we need, that I am really worried about whether that will be present or not, especially with the way that things are changing right now, as it's a very kind of loud and boisterous and belligerent energy that is at the same time sort of revolving overhead. And that definitely concerns me with this. It's going to be a bit upsetting to see it. And whether or not you're dealing with this situation on the ground, I feel that everybody in the world right now at a psychic or ethereal level is going through this. There could be like a burning previous chapter that we are going away from, and it's not there anymore. So, I mean, who doesn't relate to that? You know what I mean? Who here doesn't feel that there is a previous context or even a previous security that is in the background in ruin? At so many levels, this is something that is already affecting everybody. And yeah, it's channeling in physical ways. For example, in Southern California, for example, in the areas that were impacted by Hurricane Helene. And this is really our challenge right now, is to integrate these things happening either personally towards us or also perhaps helping people who have gone through it from a distance. And above all, I think that the moral of the impermanence of material security is a big thing that has come up through these disasters recently, as well as the human ability to get away from it. And the human ability to rebuild is the area that we will see really powerfully accessible on the other side of this. But yes, again, want to hold a prayer space for those people who are currently going through it, because it is not something that you would wish for anyone to go through, but it is something that we're going to see a lot of strength and healing through the adversity of it over time. And I definitely encourage you to access that inner part of yourself that can rebuild through adversity if you are being personally affected by it. And anyway, everyone, yes, please comment below. Let me know how you're feeling, how you're doing, if you're going through that. And yes, I'm just going to leave a few seconds here at the end of the video to just reflect and think about it, because I think that we do need to be thinking about the people who have gone through this, praying for them, and also thinking about, the greater meaning of material security and where that might be headed as a result of these challenging experiences that humanity is going through right now. So thank you so much, and prayers to all of those impacted by these fires.